And officials now say the worst of the flooding in Houston is still 2 or 3 days away. The country's fourth largest city is already facing what could be one of the worst flooding disasters in American history.
And at least 2 deaths are blamed on Hurricane Harvey and its aftermath. Hundreds of streets and highways can only be navigated by boat. Thousands of people stranded in their homes have been rescued.
We've lived in Houston for 30 years, so we've seen lots of tropical storms and hurricanes, and like most people, we thought, oh, it's going to be a tropical storm when it gets here, so it's not going to be a big deal.
At this house right here, it rained 7 days without ever stopping. It never stopped raining here. So we were in one of the areas that got 51 inches of rain.
I don't wish it on nobody. I don't wish it on nobody. I just thank God we're getting through it, you know. It's people, you know, it's everybody's going on their own life, but we're still stuck, you know, but thank God we're getting through it, you know.
We decided that one of the best ways we could be served would be to give people a bucket with cleaning supplies, because everybody has to muck out a house. And so we developed the Hurricane Bucket Challenge.
And I want to challenge you with the Hurricane Bucket Challenge. Now, don't worry, you won't get drenched in water. We've had too much of that around here.
And it went viral. I think 27,000 hits on our Hurricane Bucket Challenge. And people from all over the U.S. started sending us buckets.
One Kingdom wanted to be involved, so they called Doug and said, hey Doug, how can we help? And Doug said, well, here's what I think the need is. And he says, I think I've got a person that can run the program for us. And One Kingdom basically said, what do we need to do to make it happen? They funded my salary for the last 6 months. We've got Colin Weatherelt, who is our construction project manager, and basically my partner in this.
I understand that the initial response isn't where the need ends, and the reconstruction effort, the possibly more consequential work, begins.
Colin is day-to-day, he's the construction expert, and he's out there organizing the volunteers, and my job basically is to keep Colin going. You know, I keep him in materials and those things, but it takes quite a team to pull something like this off.
Well, you know, I wasn't expecting this. I was just, you know, expecting, hey, you know, just a handout or something like that. You know, I wasn't. It's like, wow, this is beyond.
A little backstory, our house flooded, and 10 days later my mom was diagnosed with cancer. That next week, I got a call from my doctor, and I was diagnosed with the exact same cancer that my mom has. And I got in the car and I was crying out to the Lord. I mean, I was praying, but I was crying, telling the Lord, I just don't know how this is going to work. And the phone rang. And I was crying so hard I couldn't see who was calling, but I thought it might be my doctor. So I answered the phone, and it was Robert Abels. And he said, hey Micah, I hear y'all's house flooded and you might need some help.
I remember walking into our church new members orientation class. And there were people in there, and they were finding out more about our congregation. And so I turned to one couple and said, hey, tell me, what brought you to Grace Crossing? And they said, well, it's whenever your folks came and showed up with a bunch of buckets and started cleaning out our house. That's that One Kingdom mindset that we all need to have, I think. And so I can't be any more appreciative for what One Kingdom has done for the Grace Crossing Church and for the citizens of this part of Houston.
really gets me coming into these storms and coming in helping these folks is all the people that come, the volunteers that come, the people that take time out of their work, their families, and they all come together and help these folks.
Cullen and I, we talk every morning, and many times we need a plumber and we don't have a plumber, or we need an electrician or an HVAC guy, or where are we going to get this or where are we going to get that? And it won't be 48 hours and I'll get a call from somebody and, hey, we got a crew that wants to come down, and this guy's a plumber and this other guy over here owns an HVAC company, and do you think we could be of use to you? And we kind of look at each other and smile like, well, there you go, you know, God filled another need.
For us to come together and coalesce around the mission of serving others in the name of Jesus, I think that in itself is a spectacular, miraculous, if you will, thing that's happened in our church. It has been a blessing to our church. It's transformed our church.
There is a wonderful fellowship and a community building experience that has come up out of this. It's never ceases to amaze me. It's God's thing.